Have you noticed how some people change their lives in just a few months, while others remain stuck in the same place for years? What's the secret of those who break free from financial stagnation and start building wealth quickly and consistently? There's a method that the rich have been using for decades, and most people simply ignore it. If you want to transform your financial life in the next 6 months without relying on luck, inheritance, or an unlikely scam, stay with me until the end, because today I'm going to show you a realistic and practical step-by-step that anyone can apply. But first, I need to warn you, this strategy is not for those looking for quick shortcuts or magic solutions. If you're waiting for me to tell you about fast schemes to make money without effort, this video is not for you. But if you want to learn a real, proven method that can accelerate your journey toward financial independence, then keep watching, because this might be the most important content you'll see today. The first thing you need to understand is why most people never get rich. There's a pattern that repeats itself over and over again, and it starts with the wrong mindset about money. From an early age, we're taught to believe that money is hard to come by, that only very smart, lucky, or privileged people can get rich. You've probably heard phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "Only those who were born rich get rich." These beliefs create a mental block that prevents any financial progress. When you live with this scarcity mindset, you'll always struggle to reach your financial goals. This is the first big obstacle you need to overcome if you want to prosper. After all, how can anyone be successful if they believe they don't deserve success, or if they're constantly limited by the idea that wealth is unattainable? Another big mistake is believing that getting rich depends exclusively on physical effort. Many people work 12, 14, even 16 hours a day and still stay stuck in the same place. This happens because they haven't realized that the key to wealth is not working harder, but working smarter. The rich don't trade time for money. They create systems, businesses, and investments that work for them. If you don't change this mindset, it will be impossible to escape the rat race. Let's reflect on a practical example. Imagine you work tirelessly, but what you do isn't scalable. An example of this is repetitive manual work, where you depend on your time to earn money. In the long run, this type of work is limited. Now, if you invest in something that can grow without directly depending on your time, like creating an online course or investing in stocks, the game changes. The key is to understand the difference between a job where money is tied directly to your hours and a job where money grows even when you're not directly involved. Now that you know what's stopping you from growing financially, let's move on to the solution. This is where the method that can transform your life in 6 months comes in. It's based on 4 key steps that millionaires use to accelerate their results. And if you apply these steps correctly, your financial situation can be completely different in no time. The first step is to redefine your financial mindset. You need to start seeing money as a tool, not as the end goal. The rich don't accumulate money simply to keep it stored. They make money work for them. This means that instead of just focusing on earning, you need to learn to multiply. From today on, every financial decision you make should have a clear purpose: to make your money grow. This involves learning about investments, understanding how the market works, and adopting smart financial habits. Here's an example. Warren Buffett, one of the world's richest investors, has a simple philosophy: never depend on a single source of income. This means he diversifies his investments and creates multiple streams of income that continuously generate profit. The most important thing here is that money doesn't sit still. If it's not being invested smartly, it's being wasted. True wealth comes from multiplying money, and that's what you need to keep in mind from now on. The second step is to create a scalable income source. If you only rely on your salary, your ability to grow is limited. So you need to find ways to generate money without being tied to a single income stream. And I'm not talking about doing side gigs or extra work that just leaves you more tired. I'm talking about businesses that can grow without you having to work more hours for it. It could be an online service, a digital product, a strategic investment, or any other income source with expansion potential. Let's look at scalability. Imagine you have a blog or a YouTube channel. Over time, you can monetize through ads, sponsorships, and even sell your own products. What's interesting is that once the content is online, you don't have to be constantly present to make money. In other words, the work you did at the beginning starts generating results passively, and this is a scalable business model. The third step is to apply the accelerated reinvestment strategy. This is one of the big secrets of millionaires. They don't spend their initial profits. Whenever a new income stream starts generating money, instead of spending it on unnecessary things, they reinvest it to multiply the results. This could mean scaling a business, investing in assets, or increasing your money-making capacity. The mistake most people make is wanting to spend their first profit. But if you really want to grow, you need to have discipline and keep feeding your money machine. Take Amazon, for example, which started as a simple online bookstore. Jeff Bezos, the founder, reinvested his initial profits to expand and diversify the products offered by the company. He didn't spend the money on luxury or immediate consumption. He used that money to make the company grow. What you need to understand here is that instead of spending, you should use what you earn to create more wealth. This is the mindset that separates the rich from those who can't prosper. The fourth and final step is to cut distractions and focus on execution. The difference between those who get rich quickly and those who never get anywhere is not knowledge, but action. Today, you have access to more information than any billionaire had 50 years ago. The problem is not the lack of information, it's the excess of distractions. Social media, entertainment, procrastination. All of this drains your energy and prevents you from building something meaningful. If you really want to change your life in 6 months, you need to make a plan, commit to it, and eliminate anything that's standing in your way. Have you ever found yourself procrastinating? Sometimes we get distracted by things that seem urgent, but in reality, they're not important. This distraction takes away your focus, and over time, what seemed like a small break becomes a big obstacle. Therefore, if you want to make real progress in 6 months, you need to eliminate distractions and put execution at the center of your life. Now, you might be wondering, does this really work? And the answer is yes. This method has been applied by thousands of people who started from scratch and completely changed their lives. Great investors, entrepreneurs, and millionaires started exactly this way. They followed these same steps and built fortunes over time. And I'm not just talking about people who already had money. There are countless stories of ordinary people who started with nothing and used this method to achieve financial freedom. Now, you might be thinking, but this all seems so simple and straightforward. Where's the complexity? The secret is exactly that. Most people complicate things too much. They look for secret formulas, advice from gurus, and complex methods. But the truth is that financial success is built with simple and consistent actions. Each of these steps is the foundation of a process that, over time, generates extraordinary results. If you understand this and put it into practice, success will be inevitable. And to make this method work even better, let's dive deeper into some crucial points. First, understanding the impact of financial intelligence in the long term. It's not just about making quick money, but about knowing how to keep and multiply it consistently. Then we need to identify opportunities before the majority. Those who get rich quickly have a strategic vision and can foresee where to invest before others even notice. Another essential factor is networking. If you surround yourself with small thinkers, you'll rarely come up with big ideas. Connecting with the right people can open doors and accelerate your financial journey. But at the same time, it's crucial to avoid fatal mistakes. Small missteps, like investing without knowledge or spending impulsively, can delay your progress for years. We also need to talk about one of the biggest blockers, the fear of investing. Many people leave their money sitting idle due to insecurity, but there are ways to start safely and reduce risks. For this, consistency is key. If you don't stay focused and disciplined, the first few months may seem hard, but then the results begin to show. Now, to apply all this in the next 6 months, you need a practical plan. So in the coming days, define a clear goal, eliminate distractions, seek knowledge, and start taking action. Time will pass anyway, so the choice is yours. Stay where you are or start your financial transformation right now.